They've all been called out. All of them call each other out on something. There's always something going on. It's very dramatic. Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is Tim. I am the Dizzy Daddy, and this is my 44 to 24 series, where I take my tired 44-year-old butt and try to regain the form I had when I was 24 years old. Easy. Yeah. So just to recap, last video, which was week 4, I believe, we were a month in, and I got re-injured. So the arm injury that I had, the muscle pull that I had, got exacerbated again because of my dog and a squirrel. So thanks, guys. No, seriously, it was more of a retweak than anything, and I just took really good care of it, and it's feeling a lot better. I can do a lot more movements, so it's all good. Now, in terms of weight, I was at 154 and some change last time, so now I'm 152 and change. So we're holding steady at about a pound a week-ish. 163 is where I started. I'm now down to about, let's call it 152. It's about 11 pounds. By the end of July, so 2 weeks from now, I'm looking for probably 2 to 5 pounds, ideally. Realistically, it's going to be about 2 pounds. So that'll be 13 pounds off. And that's sort of what my goal was, 13 to 15 pounds off of the fat burning stage, and then we can start with the building stage. So, looking forward to it. Now, as far as this update goes, as the title suggests, I'm looking for training advice. And just to put it out there right away, no, I'm not planning on hiring a personal trainer or joining a gym. The whole point of this experiment, if you will, is to see how far I can get and what I can accomplish on my own with minimal equipment, with minimal financial investment, without a gym, and with just the information that's available out there on the internet. So speaking of that, obviously one of the biggest sources on the internet is YouTube. There's a ton of fitness YouTubers, there's a ton of people in that community. But what I didn't expect, what I wasn't even thinking of, is the call-out culture. Now, these guys, they're all allegedly experts in their field. But some of them are more what I'd call personalities rather than actual experts, technicians, scientists. And then there are the part of the community that really are. They have incredible education, they look at it purely from a scientific point of view, and they are dedicated to getting accurate information out to people. Not to say that the other people are not. But there are people out there who are more about motivation, more about, all right guys, let's go, that type of thing. And sometimes they're at odds with each other. So they'll start calling each other out. And the type of call out can range from all kinds of stuff. This guy's not natural, he's got to be on something, this guy doesn't know what the heck he's talking about, he's gonna hurt somebody, this girl is giving nutritional advice that is absolutely ridiculous. The list goes on and on and on. So someone will make a video, then somebody will make a rebuttal video, then somebody make a rebuttal video to the rebuttal video, and it just goes on and on. Now, I have found it entertaining. As a 44-year-old man, sometimes I do find it a little bit eye-rolling. You kind of have to get past the drama. It reminds me a little bit of my daughter's middle school, except for much more intimidating-looking people. But it's been very interesting, to say the least. So yes, this past 3 months, I've been sort of sifting through all the information because I've been more in the fat burning, fat loss stage of the whole sort of journey. So I haven't really started the whole training thing in earnest yet. So I've been looking through dozens and dozens of channels, reading up on stuff on the internet, and just trying to figure out what is the most accurate and what is the most applicable information to me. Because when you do this stuff on your own, you have to sift through like a mountain of information. And some of it as you start to cross-reference and figure stuff out, you realize some of it is kind of people just saying stuff. Sometimes even making stuff up. For me, I've found that there are channels that resonate more than others. What I've found the most important word I would say is applicable. Because in my case, I'm a 44-year-old man. So when I look at some of these channels, for instance, there are some guys out there, some calisthenic guys in particular. They're very fit, they're very strong, pound for pound, extremely strong people, and very motivated, very hype, very cool. And these guys, some of their information is very good, their core workouts, things like that. And then some of the stuff I look at and think, okay, that's wonderful, but it does not apply to me. There's a young man out there, he has a channel, he's very calisthenics based. And I was watching one of his videos and he's like, okay, so now we're gonna move over here to the bar and we're gonna do muscle ups. And I'm thinking, yeah, no, we're not. No. This guy is not doing anything like that. And if you don't know what a muscle up is, imagine hanging from a bar like you're about to do a pull-up. And then, just like the name suggests, you pull yourself up and then sort of muscle yourself up and over the bar until you're basically doing this with the bar and you're on top of it. And then you come back down and then you do it again, over and over, and that's a muscle up. And that's fine if you're young and full of vigor and you have no injuries. If you're a young man, even if you have a couple injuries, you can usually get through it. Your youth just pushes you through that. But if you're old like me, you've got rotator cuff issues from years past, maybe some labrum issues, not to mention the elbows, the wrists, everything. Every joint anyways in my body is not 100%. So you look at something like that and you think, no way. So channels like that, I tend to cherry pick some exercises. You know, I get a lot from their youth, their vigor, their enthusiasm, but ultimately those are not the channels for me. I have isolated 3 guys on the YouTube that I think are going to work best for me. And yes, I will pick one that is going to be my main personal trainer. So number 1 is a gentleman named Paul Revelia, I believe is how you say his last name. And he owns a company, a fitness company, that does training, consultation, called Pro Physique, I believe it's called. He is also a natural bodybuilder, so that's bodybuilding competitions. They test. They do not allow steroids, other enhancements. He was actually one of the later ones I discovered. His channel isn't the largest compared to the next couple of guys that I'm going to talk about, but I found him to be he does have a very sort of hands-on personal trainer vibe to him. And he's extremely knowledgeable. I haven't been able to find his exact age on the internet, but I'm assuming that he is like me in his 40s. You're going to see this is sort of the trend or the direction that I'm going in. So basically, when you watch his videos, there's almost this undercurrent or subconscious feeling that he understands who he is in terms of age, in terms of where he is in life, in the middle, basically, like myself. And it's a more comfortable vibe for me. Now, his videos aren't just for middle-aged people. They're obviously from young to old, in the middle, all of that. But I just get that feeling, and there's a comfort level for me, because there is no sudden, okay, we're going to do some muscle ups, or we're going to do handstands. There's no sort of crazy, intense, young buck kind of stuff happening. It's all very thoughtful, it's all very methodical, and that's applicable to me. So his stuff is very comfortable for me, and he answers a lot of questions that his fans put forth to him on Instagram, so it feels very personable. And just the level of expertise, the level of detail, the easy to follow directions, if you will, he's very quickly become a favorite of mine, and I will be using a lot of his information and expertise. Next up is a favorite of mine. Of all the dozens of channels I've viewed, this guy, I mean, just thinking about him makes me smile, makes me laugh. And he is a fellow Canadian by the name of Greg Doucette. And I'm sure you've heard of this guy. Now, the guy I spoke of before, Paul Revelia, he's very straight, very just information. He's not part of that whole call-out culture. Even if someone called him out, I don't think he'd dive too much into it. Greg, on the other hand, is all about the call-out culture. It's kind of part of his shtick. He sits in front of the camera and he's got, you know, his muscles showing. He is a professional bodybuilder. He's very open about his steroid use, the use of other enhancers, and he is just a very candid, very funny guy. And he has a sort of thing that he does, a shtick that he does, where he sort of sits there and he can't do it, but he screams a lot and he rants and he rages, and his voice when he's yelling sounds a lot like the comedian Gilbert Gottfried. But here's the thing. If he was just entertaining and just a screamer and just into the call-out culture or whatever, I would have lost interest very quickly. And some people will say, yeah, but he's on the steroids. See, that's not an issue of concern to me, because in the sport that he's in professional bodybuilding, that is, unless it's specified that it's natural competition, they're all assumed to be on something. So that's just a part of the sport, if you will. So whether you agree with that or disagree, whether it's a good thing to do, is in my mind irrelevant to the fact that he is an expert in the field of working out, fitness, nutrition, cutting weight, cutting fat. Between all of the diatribes and the calling people out and the show, basically, there's a lot of substance. But the show is there, and you like the show. His videos are very long. They're about anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. So compared to other YouTubers, it's on the longer side. But that's perfect when you're doing cardio. He has a lot of videos about nutrition, about working out, about technique, that are very informative, but they're very entertaining as well. So when you're doing long, boring cardio, you just plug in a Greg Doucette video or a couple of them, and the time just goes by. Overall, I just find him to be the most entertaining person out there, and he brings a lot of substance as well. So I will be tuning into him a lot, getting some information, and getting some laughs. Okay, number one. And you knew I was going to get around to this guy. He is arguably the biggest fitness YouTuber out there. At least I couldn't find anybody bigger than him. He's got 11 million subscribers and climbing. He is Jeff Cavaliere. Now, this guy was a strength and, I believe, physiotherapy person for the Mets. I hope I'm getting that right. So he has a lot of education. He also has a lot of experience. He's 2 years, I believe, either 2 years or 1 year older than I am. And he does have the respect of his peers. Now, he's also been called out by the guy that I was just talking about for possibly using fake weights, fake plates in some of his demonstration videos. I think that a person who's constantly doing his own fitness, plus the videos, plus all this stuff, probably gets tired. So for demonstration purposes, yes, if he used fake weights or whatever, I guess it's understandable. But honestly, for me, I don't care. I don't care either way. He is the expert's expert, if you will. But the thing that makes him number one for me, he's a physiotherapist. And a lot of his videos are based in physiotherapy. And hey, I'm an older guy who's got old injuries all over his body. Everything hurts all the time. And embarking on a journey like this for me, is a painful and, well, like you saw, I got injured already. And his videos, he has a whole bunch of videos that are just physiotherapy. He's got a ton of that stuff. And for an older guy, that honestly is music to my ears. That's what you want. You want health, you want fitness. And Jeff brings that. Jeff lives that. He also brings things that are very applicable to me. So there's expertise, there's applicability, there's walking the walk. He does it all, in my opinion. So that is my number one, Jeff Cavaliere with his company, his channel, Athlean X. So Jeff, if you ever see this, which you probably will not, but if you do, congratulations. You have been selected as my trainer, Tim from DizzyDaddyTV, the tiniest channel on YouTube. So I will be using him 70% of the time. The other 30% is going to be a lot of Doucette, a lot of Revelia, and a little bit of everybody else. Because everybody brings something to the table. So this was a bit of a longer video. Here's a quick recap of what I did. Now remember, what you're going to see in this video, some of it is going to be unorthodox, some of it is going to be a bit goofy. I am in no way recommending what I'm doing in this video, okay? I know the risks and I'm willing to take that. So if you emulate any of this stuff, you are doing that at your own risk. DizzyDaddyTV is not liable, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool? Nice.
You know, gotta move those legs to the beat. You know the beat. Gonna set you free, 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 free. To the beat, you know, gotta move those, 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 gotta move those legs to the beat. Gotta move those, 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 gotta move those legs to the beat. You know, gotta move those, 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 gotta move those.
Whew, okay. That was a short one, but I'm still tired. How about a sandwich? Quick one. Oh yeah. Processed cheese and bacon. How I've missed you. So there you have it. 44 to 24, week 6 update. Jeff Cavaliere, Athlean X, I choose you. Sorry. So we are 2.5 months in, 2 weeks to go before the fat losing phase is over and we start the building phase. So I'm looking forward to that. My arm is feeling better. I'm gonna start a little bit more aggressively doing resistance work, and then we'll see where we go from there. And yes, Jeff Cavaliere, Athlean X, that is the main sort of channel, the main sort of person that I'm going to be looking to for advice, for guidance, what I'm going to be basing most of my workouts on. But, as I said earlier, column A, column B, all the way to Z. I'm going to be looking at them all because I think everybody has something to offer. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the 8-week update. That's 2 months of documentation, 3 months total. And hopefully we'll have made some really good progress in the next couple of weeks. If you like this video, please do subscribe so you can keep up with my journey. My next update is gonna cover the equipment and all that stuff that I'm sort of using. I was gonna do it this update, but there just wasn't enough time. Thank you so much for joining me again. I do look forward to bringing you the next update. Till then, be well. Take care.